How to lose weight with science-based tools. Before we get into the video, if you're someone who struggles with weight loss, click the link in the description and I will personally help you achieve those goals that you think are impossible to achieve in weight loss. And press the subscribe button right now and hit the like button. So, what are these science-based tools? Well, mind you, these tools I used on myself, and therefore this is all from personal experience. But essentially, these tools are your diet, and more specifically, going into the keto diet. Now, what is the keto diet? The keto diet is a diet where you eliminate almost all carbs, only consume high saturated fats and high protein meals. And as a result, following that strictly will allow your body to produce what is called ketones, which is a chemical produced by the liver, which helps your body take the body fat from your body, like the stored body fat, and use that as energy. Whereas having a diet consisting of pasta and rice and all these carbs, your body will rely on sugar. So after you consume, after the food is digested of whatever you ate, the pasta or the rice, your body will run out of the sugar that it has. It will consume whatever sugar and whatever stuff it does in that diet. It'll consume that, and then it'll resort to consuming your muscle mass. That's why a lot of people who are not in the keto diet and fast lose a lot of muscle mass. But yeah, that's the keto diet. And essentially, how it worked for me. So, for my whole life, I struggled with body fat. I wasn't always overweight, but I was somewhat chubby, and it wasn't until last year where I've got to my heaviest of being 205 pounds. And again, it wasn't until I took actual steps and said enough is enough where I changed my lifestyle. And I ended up losing 25 pounds, going down to 180 pounds. And that was, again, with the keto diet, but also implementing things such as intermittent fasting and fasting. So that's what I mean by these things that are based on science, because that's the science behind it with the keto diet going into ketosis, and the science behind fasting and intermittent fasting is essentially, it's not, you're fasting from food. You're fasting like a food fast. You can still consume water and coffee if it's keto friendly, but doing that will put you in a calorie deficit, which again will accelerate the fat burning or fat loss that your body will do while in ketosis. And so combining the nature of keto with fasting, it will really help skyrocket your results. It took me about 3 months to lose 25 pounds, but that was me half-assing it. There are a lot of days where I wasn't in keto, or I wasn't following it as strictly, or I wasn't fasting as much as I wanted to. The most I fasted was for 3 days in a row. Of course, you can do whatever, one day every other day or something, but it wasn't as often as I wanted to as well, me fasting. So the whole idea is that if you follow certain steps strictly, you'll see results in a fast amount of time. And essentially that's what I want to talk about in the video, the science behind keto and how it helped me. Now there's a way to do it. I'll just say quickly that I had many attempts at losing weight. I had attempts at keto and I completely failed. I had attempts at just focusing on cardio and thinking that will help my body lose body fat. And don't get me wrong, it does. But the problem I had was that I wasn't educated in my attempts, and I had no discipline to actually follow through with it, and I lacked the consistency to actually do it every day. So it doesn't matter what you do. Me personally, I will always recommend keto because that's what works for me. But if you're trying to look for something to help you, always make sure that you are educated and that you know what you're doing and that you've done a lot of research. But yeah, um, I was making a point about keto, my failed attempts. But yeah, the point I was making was that I also made attempts at keto, and again, because I lacked the education and knowledge on how to approach it, and also on top of that, I had no discipline and had no consistency with it. It was why I failed. Yeah, and I was just making a point that if you're going to do something about your weight, look into it, have the education, and actually be committed to it. But besides that, with my failed attempts, I'll give you some examples. I remember in college, that's when I discovered keto and was trying to do it. I would take the night before, I would prepare a meal. I would prepare either a steak or a chicken breast, and that was like essentially a pathetic attempt at keto. That's no way to start keto, to just prepare a steak or a chicken breast and think that, oh, I'm gonna eat this and go into keto. It's more than that. It wasn't until I started doing, even though it's half-assed, I started doing better steps, and these steps are changing all my meals to keto, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, limiting my meals to 2 meals a day, start doing intermittent fasting, start doing prolonged fasting, and that's another mistake I used to make too, with keto, and how I kept failing, because I was eating dumb meals like a piece of chicken breast or a steak. Mind you, it was healthy. Yeah, it was protein, but still, it wasn't a good way to do keto. But because I was doing that, that didn't satisfy me. A, it didn't satisfy me, and B, even though I was no, sorry, yeah, I ate that, and then I became hungry. And when I became hungry, I couldn't stand the feeling of hunger, nor did I understand the feeling of hunger either. Because right now, when I do these attempts, when I feel hunger, now I'm able to know, okay, this is a good sign because I'm hungry. My body's burning up the food that I had eaten previously, and if I keep fasting on this hunger, combined with the keto diet and fasting, I'm gonna lose a lot of weight. So now I understand that being hungry is somewhat of a good thing. Obviously, it's still uncomfortable to be in, and that was part of my issue. I couldn't take that feeling. I couldn't endure it. I had cravings of junk food. I didn't like the feeling of being hungry, and that was because I was not disciplined and I couldn't have the consistency. So if you want to use science-based tools, I just shared the science-based tools that I use based on my personal experience, changing your meals to keto, intermittent fasting, and prolonged fasting, combining that with exercise, going to the gym. The type of cardio I recommend is, you can do whatever cardio you want in terms of like running on the treadmill, but if you want to target fat burning or fat loss more specifically, I forgot the science behind it, kind of ironic to this video, but when you do cardio such as walking at a fast pace for a very long time, for like 2 hours, or if you go on a treadmill and make the incline go up, but you're going at a walking speed, that type of cardio, I forgot what it was called, but essentially that helps target the body fat. That helps speed up the process of the body fat, or the loss of body fat. So yeah, combining that with the diet that I mentioned is something that can really, really help you in this journey of weight loss. Another example too of when I was losing weight with the keto, I was working a job where I was on my feet for 8 hours of the day. I was walking. Now that's obviously overkill. You don't have to go 8 hours walking, but I think walking for 2 hours or an hour and a bit, speed walking is good enough. There's a certain amount of steps that you have to reach. I forgot. I just Google it, but yeah, that's something I recommend, and that's something that helped me out tremendously. So if you're someone who struggles with weight loss, click the link in the description. If you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching, and hit that subscribe button and like button right now. Thank you for watching.